Hello, good afternoon guys. I am pre-recording this because I cannot be in two places at the same time, but hopefully the video will make sense, you will understand. Please take notes as I go along, so you have a nice and neat in your books, and you should be perfectly fine because this topic is not complicated. To begin with, let me give you a title, let's give you a title. So the title is Converting Units of Area, okay? So converting units of area. And before we do that, we need to recap. So do you remember how to change your units of length? How do we go from millimeters to centimeters? If you can't remember, look at your ruler. So how many millimeters do you need to make 1 centimeter? Think about it. And the answer is 10. So every 10 millimeters makes 1 centimeter. So if I have 30 millimeters, how many centimeters do I have? 3. So how did you go from millimeters to centimeters? We divide by 10. So here to there, we divide by 10. How many centimeters does it take to make 1 meter? You should remember the answer is 100. So how do I go from centimeters to meters? Again, if you have got a long measuring tape, every 100 centimeters is 1 meter, so we need to divide by 100. And finally, how many meters in 1 kilometer? Everyone here should know that. The answer is 1,000. So to go from meters to kilometers, we divide by 1,000. So millimeters to centimeters divide by 10, centimeters to meters divide by 100, meters to kilometers divide by 1,000. And if we're going the other way around, we're going to do the opposite operation. So kilometers into meters multiply by 1,000, meters into centimeters multiply by 100, centimeters into millimeters multiply by 10. But none of this should be new, everyone should be very familiar with this and very comfortable with this. And if you're not, you really need to make notes and practice because it should be second nature. Right, now here's a question. Let's say now I've got 6 centimeters square, so not 6 centimeters, but 6 centimeters square. We're talking about area. And I want to change that into meters square. How would I do that? Now a lot of you may be thinking that centimeters to meters I divide by 100, so that's all I have to do. 6 divided by 100, 0.06 meters square. And you would be wrong. And that's the common mistake. Let me show you with an example why that is not the case. Imagine that I have a rectangle, a 3 by 2 centimeter rectangle. What is the area of this rectangle? It's 6 centimeters square. Now, if I have the same rectangle, but instead of in centimeters, I write in meters, 2 centimeters divided by 100 is 0.02 meters, and 3 centimeters into meters, again 3 divided by 100 is 0.03 meters. So if I want to find the area, I need to do 0.02 multiplied by 0.03. And if you get your calculator out and you do it, is 0.0006 meters square, I believe. If I haven't done it wrong, that's correct. 0.06 meters square. So it turns out that to go from centimeter square to meter square, I am not dividing by 100, I am dividing by 10,000, or I am dividing by 100 squared because I'm working with units squared. Maybe that wasn't the best example. Let's choose another one and you will see. So, same, got another rectangle. This is 4 centimeters. This is 5 centimeters. And as you can see, the scale doesn't really work, but it doesn't matter. The area is 20 centimeters square. Let's say I want to change the area into millimeters square. So from centimeters to millimeters, we multiply by 10. So you might think that the area is 20 times 10, 200 millimeters square. But again, that's wrong. And let's do the conversion first. So, same rectangle, but the units now in millimeters. So this is 40 millimeters, and this is 50 millimeters. Find the area, 40 times 50. Turns out we get 2000 millimeters square. So, to go from centimeters to millimeters, I multiply by 10. Sorry for the noise. They're blowing the leaves outside. I'm recording this at 8:30 in the morning. Came in early just for you. Hope you appreciate that. To go from centimeters squared to millimeters squared, I'm not multiplying by 10. I am multiplying by 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. So, it's going to write it here. Hopefully, so I've got millimeter square, centimeter square, meter square, kilometer squared. So from millimeter squared to centimeter square, I'm not dividing by 10. I am dividing by 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. Centimeter squared to meter squared, I'm going to divide by 100 squared, and 100 squared is 10,000. And here, meter squared to kilometer squared, I am going to divide by 1,000 squared. 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million, okay? And when I go back, the opposite. Multiply by 1,000 squared, multiply by 100 squared, multiply by 10 squared. Now, all of these conversions you need to know. They are not given to you in the exam. You need to memorize and be pretty quick and comfortable with, because in a lot of questions they may give you measurements in different units, or you may start with centimeters but the answer may ask you for meters squared or things like that, okay? Or if you will see this next year, but when you're working with pressure, force and area, the area needs to be in certain units. You may have to do conversions, okay? So I hope you've taken the examples down to see how converting from units of length and converting between units of area is similar but not the same. You need to learn that. Pause, watch, rewind as many times as you need. Any questions, let me know. But I hope it's clear. Best of luck with the exercises, and I'll see you whenever. Have a nice weekend. Take care. Bye.